So once you went to this physical therapist and you guys decide, let's build this business together, how did you start? Like, what were some of the first steps you took towards making this a real business?
I kind of blacked out the early days because it was, a little bit hard, as many founders know. I know the first year is just a slug, but I'll go back here for the sake of normalizing the early founder journey. It was 2018, 2019, so pre-COVID. And, a lot of the very early days was just learning. I'd spent a lot of time in healthcare, in digital healthcare, but not in physical therapy and not in this specific type of also in-person care delivery. And so, really I was sitting at the front desk with the team. I was understanding their workflows. We were starting to bring, more of our brand and ethos and technology to the team and the company so we could build a platform for scale. But a lot of it was just learning and watching and trying to not mess it up because, the clinical team was so strong. We really wanted to understand before we started changing things. Early days, it was self-funded with me and my co-founders, and then also brought on some friends and family. And it was really a few years before we brought on any institutional investors. And that actually happened post-pandemic, which is, ironic because, the world changed so much. But I think the landscape for women's health also changed, and people started to realize, women have bodies that have unique needs that have not been met for a very long time. Exactly. But yeah, it was a lot of nuts and bolts operations and just like the brass tacks of healthcare delivery, which is really complex and important to not mess up. I think you got a lot of grace in other types of companies, but when you talk about patient safety and intimacy and these types of real issues, the stakes are really high.
Yeah, completely. And that's such a good point. I think anything clinical or anything where there's high regulation, you are becoming not only a founder of a new business, but you have to put on like this entirely new educational understanding, right, of everything that goes into building that business.
There's a lot of just value setting and, philosophy around who do you want to become that it's kind of hard to create the time to do, but it's so important. So even the work of building a brand, I don't think about the brand as marketing. The brand is the foundation. It's your identity. It's how we show up every day as front desk or as PTs. And so there was a lot of just that dialogue with the team to understand, how do we articulate who we are so that, we can make this just more accessible.